All right, we're live. All right, hello everybody. Welcome to 1 Million Cups Westminster. For those of you who are new, we have coffee in the back here from Jeannie Bird, along with Jeannie Bird pastries. So please help yourselves. I'm just going to run through real quick what 1 Million Cups is all about. First, thanks to Jeannie Bird Baking Company for providing the coffee and the pastries in the back. Also, if you're joining us virtually on Facebook, you can go to furnacehillscoffee.com. Use the discount code 1MC Westminster to get 25% off your entire order, which will be shipped to you. So thank you to Furnace Hills Coffee for providing the virtual coffee sponsorship. And then thank you to Startup Portal, who's our community sponsor partner for 1 Million Cups here in Westminster. So Magic, along with Startup Portal, takes turns hosting this. So we'll be hosting this for the next 5 months or so. And then we'll go back to Startup Portal at some point. And by the way, Magic, for those of you who don't know, is a 501c3 nonprofit here in Westminster. It does technology, economic development, and workforce development here in the community and beyond. 1 Million Cups. So the mission of 1 Million Cups is to lower the barrier for access to education, resources, and connections for entrepreneurs. This mission does not get accomplished without the core pillars of the core program, which are that this is all about presentations, not pitches, connection, not networking. Our culture is to be for the community, by the community. Nobody has ownership of 1 Million Cups Westminster. Nobody should be paid to do 1 Million Cups Westminster, and we are radically and intentionally inclusive. We meet every week, 9 a.m., 2 presenters when possible. Today we have 1 presenter, which means we'll also probably do some community shout outs afterwards. And then the organizations need to be about 5 years old and willing to ask for help. Less than 5 years old and willing to ask for help. And we always end with the question, what can we as a community do to help you? So this is our organizing team, myself from Magic, Russ Hammett, Vicki Slinkman from Ting, John Wheatman, attorney at law, Tina Thomas from Infant Love Project, Julia Snap from Dirigible Systems, and Gabby Rose also from Magic. For our presentation today, we have Billy Live from Find Your Purpose. He's also from Wisdom Court Entertainment. You've probably already met him before if you're watching this. And we are going to allow for comments and questions also in Facebook. So if you have any questions for Billy, we will put them in the Facebook comments, and then we will read them out loud when he's done. So let me just switch over the presentation here to Billy's presentation. And invite Billy to come up and share what's the latest and greatest with Find Your Purpose Inc. Billy?
Hello, good morning everybody. I don't think I've met you, but I'm Billy Live from Wisdom Court Entertainment, Find Your Purpose. We're a local nonprofit organization that specializes in working with kids, young adults, and adults, and finding ways to mentor and reach them through music and creativity. And we have a recording studio right down the street actually right across the corner at Bond Street, that clothing store. Yeah, that's ours. So I have not been here for a little bit, so I wanted to kind of do an update and tell everybody what I've been doing and what I've been up to, because I was a frequent 1 Million Cups presenter and talker for a while. But, so yes, Find Your Purpose. So here's a community update and a recap of everything I've been doing since the last time I was here was, when was it? November? Yeah, it's been a little while. So we did a fundraiser and raised money to do an event called Life of the Party. Life of the Party was a dance party that we did at Project C Dance Studios up behind the old Coca-Cola building. And pretty much it's an underage dance party, and we turned the room into a club. So we had smoke, we had lights, I had performers, we had DJs and everything like that. So it was like a Baltimore City club inside of the dance studio. So the kids had an amazing time. I had my son performing there. There was a little 8-year-old and a 4-year-old that was performing there, and they killed it. They did great. So it was actually a thing. I think we needed $600 to do it, and I raised it in a couple of days. Took all the money, paid for everything, and it was a successful event. And then in January, I did the FYP skate night, and with that one, we raised money to take, I think, my original plan was to take 20 kids to Magic Elms in Hanover. 70 ended up showing up, so I ended up having to come out of my pocket a little bit, but we ended up paying for all of the skates, all of their food and everything. It was like, I think we had more than 80% of that night was all of our people. So we were like parents, kids, friends from the neighborhood, and we just pretty much just skate. I skate too. It was fun. Yeah. But that was an awesome event. There's a lot of our kids were there doing some little dance, whatever they be doing. And last month we went and took the kids to the aquarium, the Baltimore Aquarium, and I would say probably like 60% of the kids that I took have never been to the aquarium before. Some of the parents have never been to the aquarium before. So I kind of think the parents were more excited than some of the kids. And the Carroll County Times actually did a news article on this front page about the aquarium trip and what we were doing with the kids. And the lady from the Carroll County Times that was taking pictures seemed like she was more excited about being in the aquarium. She's like, I haven't been here in like 15 years. But it was awesome. So, and that's another thing. We financed the whole entire trip for the kids. We paid for the food and everything, which was complicated because you had to order the food. It was not like a regular menu. You had to order it from your phone, and then they brought it to you. So having like different parents and different families, and then I'm trying to figure out how to pay for it all. It was nuts. But yeah, I thought we would be able to have like pizza or some nuggets or something, but it didn't work out like that. But yeah, the event was awesome. And yeah, I plan on doing some more aquarium trips because after that one, I got hit up by a lot of parents, and they were like, "When's the next one? Can we get the kids to come?" But I only had planned for like a certain, because the aquarium is kind of expensive. All right, upcoming events. We have it used to be called the Wisdom Courts Kids Club Annual Easter Egg Hunt. Now it's called the Find Your Purpose Annual Easter Egg Hunt. And this is something that we've been doing for probably about 10 years. We started out with 6 kids, my son included, and now we bring probably close to, I would say like 250 kids to the events. And it just keeps growing and growing and getting bigger. Last year, for COVID, we weren't allowed to have it. I got the approval to have it 3 days before the event. And I don't know who was there, but we ended up having like almost 500 people show up. Because it's something that everybody's like just ready to come to like all throughout the year. Keep it real hip hop. My hip hop bunny. You know what I'm saying? I like to, one of the things about our company, I don't want to take anything away from who I am as a person, and the hip hop and the street and all that stuff is just, it's a part of me. So I present myself that way, but also in a positive way to show like just because you look like that or because you're around this kind of thing doesn't necessarily mean that you got to be a bad person or whatever. So I'm not changing anything about, I still cuss too. I'm not changing anything about my nonprofit is still raw, but I think authentic is the word. I think that's what keeps people coming back to feel comfortable being around us. But yeah, so yeah, this event is Saturday. And it's going to be a crazy event. This year is at the Westminster City Park, which I've never been able to get before because there's always other things going on. So I got City Park, and I got the police pushed the permit for me because I was late, like always. I got the permit approved and everything. So yeah. My current project that I'm working on right now is the Find Your Purpose Spring Fundraiser. This picture was at one of the dance parties we did, and all of these kids are just kids that are from all of these neighborhoods that you might not normally see, but if you go to like Top Lot, Center Street, any of these things, there's like 50 kids running around crazy. Those are all the kids that come to our events. So they're regulars. But yeah, this is a fundraiser we're doing. We're trying to raise about $7,500. We actually have more money than that because I had some private donors. We're probably a little bit more than halfway through. But so basically we're trying to raise money to, instead of me doing fundraisers per event, we're trying to raise enough to where I already have it there, so when I want to do events, I can just take it out of the account instead of I need 600 for this, I need 400 for this. It'll be all there. So that's what we're in the process of doing, and we're getting there. And we even started as young as this. Special announcements. I'll start with the new programs that I'm working on. New program. We're still in the process of putting together our recording program where we're going to take a kid from high school and middle school, and we're going to walk them through the whole process of writing, producing, recording, and mixing their own 3-track project. And then once it's done, we're going to take it and put it online to all streaming platforms for them to promote or market and make money for themselves. But we're literally going to take the kid through the whole process, take pictures of them, get their logo done, and we're going to all do it at the studio with all of the guys that I have working there. And that's going to be a $750 sponsorship. And it breaks down to where I'm able to pay all my people for their studio time and hours and stuff like that. I got 2 sponsors already that are ready to donate for 2 kids. I'm probably going to start that probably next month, I believe. And another program that we're putting together is going to be called Walking with a Purpose. And I had a little girl who recently, I don't want to put her business out there, but she hasn't been doing too good or whatever. And she called me and wanted to talk to me about what's been going on with her. And she said, like, she looks online and doesn't feel like she compares to the girls online, and just really, really depressed about social media, being bullied and things like that. Beautiful girl. And I was like, so what do you want to do? Like, what is it that you want to do? She's like, well, I want to dance, I want to act, and I want to draw. And I'm like, well, that's like right up my alley. So through talking to her and talking to her mother, I contacted a dance studio, a boxing class, and pretty much everything she wanted to do, and got them all to agree to do free classes for her. So then I was like, hold up, let me just go and put a whole program together. So like I'll find like different kids. So I want to set it up to where like maybe like 2 days a week I take kids that, the difference of our program, I don't want to take, if we have a room full of 20 kids, right, and I want to take them to a dance studio, not all of the 20 kids want to dance. So that's what I want to do differently with our program. I want to bring kids that want to do what it is that we're doing that day. So the kids that want to dance, you sign up for Tuesday. The kids that want to go to boxing, you sign up for Thursday, and so on and so on and so on. So I feel like that's the best way for me to catch them instead of having a bunch of people sitting around doing something they don't want to do. Because I would hate that. So yeah, we're about to start that program soon, and I got approval from like 4 different companies that will do classes for me for free. That's going to be awesome. That's going to hopefully run all throughout the summertime. And job update is, I think in 2 weeks I am leaving my full-time job and I'm going to be doing this full-time. This has been like a dream that I've been dreaming about doing or getting there for like before I met you guys. It's something I've always kind of like wanted to do, just never really knew how I was going to get there. And I had a sponsor hit me up and asked me, originally she asked me what would I do with a certain dollar amount program-wise. And I said I would, all the stuff that I named or whatever. And then she called me back and I said, I really don't want to work. If I didn't work, I could do a lot. And she's like, well, how about, what would you do if you didn't have to work? And I was like, a lot. And she said, okay, we need to meet immediately. She came 2 days later and I got a salary grant. It's for 6 months first. And then after that, I'll get to reapply, or I'll take the 6 months and constantly apply for different grants and stuff like that. It was a bit of a risk, because 6 months as opposed to forever or a year is risky. It's like you don't leave a job that you've been at for like 15 years and take a jump. And she's like, are you ready for that? I said, yeah. So same day I called my boss and told him, yeah, this is what's going on, boom, boom, boom. He was very supportive of me, and he's going to keep me part-time, and I'm going to train different drivers and stuff for him. So I didn't lose that job, so I'm still going to keep it. But yeah, I think in 2 weeks or in May, I'll be fully free.
Wow.
Look at that smile.
And Wednesday, 1 Million Cups is gonna be on my work schedule, so I'll be here on that. And yeah, so they always ask, how can the 1MC community get involved or help out? I kind of want to throw that back and say, besides who I've already spoken to, from what we got going on, is there any questions or anything that you guys see that you can do, add, or pitch to help what I have going on? So I'm throwing a question back at people.
Yeah, that goes for anyone on Facebook as well.
I can't get to you, so.
At your home.
But your business has Ting. Your business has Ting.
And also was curious, have you guys done anything with Exploration Commons?
Not yet. I need to go over there.
Well, let's talk there too, because Ting sponsors an VR augmented reality lab there. So if you have kids that are interested in doing that sort of work.
It's like virtual reality? Oh, really?
They have a VR booth.
And that's just one. That's the one that Ting sponsors, but they also have other rooms and other types of equipment. And
yeah, I need to go over there.
We have a
full
podcast
teaching
booth.
kitchen, and we love
What do I need to do to go over and look at it?
Have a library card and just walk in.
Just go.
Because
I might give you a library card to walk in.
Well, no, that's true.
If you walk in and talk to the woman at the desk, she'll give you a tour of
Yeah.
everything
I might
that's
go there.
there.
And if you have kids that are interested, Ting would love to talk about sponsoring them to take some courses there.
Really? I do.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I went to Dave and Buster's a couple weeks ago, and I was playing Terminator with the thing, and we had a little girl where she started crying because I think she fell out the truck. I kept like, trying to grab her. and
It's intense.
I don't know if she really fell out of the truck, but I couldn't touch her. But yeah, it was pretty intense. Yeah. So now it's a good idea. I'll definitely talk to you about that. Yeah. Anybody else? I think I work with almost everybody.
Well, so I'm curious to know, in terms of the salary grant, does that have to go through the community foundation? Are you able, because you're under the community foundation?
I did it that way.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
so it's going to go through the community foundation, and then they'll work out something where they do payroll for me.
right, okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
So because the other option was, here, you take all this. I was
Right.
like, I don't want to have
That's
all
a big
that.
responsibility.
Yeah. Because they're like, okay, I'm gonna break this down. So, ooh, but I like that shoes over there. So I didn't want to do it that way. I wanted to discipline myself in advance and just do it the way that I'm doing it. And then me working part time, that'd kind of be like my little play money and all the other million things that I do. Try to do like 1,000 things to make money. All good things.
Well, I think it might be helpful too for some people who haven't met you before. Like, and I'm kind of curious, based on what I know, what your workshop was over at Together Studios a few months back.
Mhm.
There's a lot of conversation about like your own brand, telling your own story. How has your own story and sort of your own personal brand changed or evolved since launching Find Your Purpose?
My own story or brand? That's a good question. I'm not really sure how to answer it fully, but I will say that my initial, tell me if I'm going off track, but my initial, with Wisdom Court, I was solely focused on like music and urban stuff and things like that, and clothing and all that. When I started getting more into, and that's kind of where my head was in my personal life too, I found that was holding me back from growing. So once I got into starting doing the Find Your Purpose stuff and meeting different people like Graham and everybody in here or whatever, it kind of opened my eyes, not just professionally, but like life-wise. It opened my eyes to different things that I could be doing. And if I get to a certain position, all the people that I want to help, I'll be able to help more. You can't really help anybody when you can't help yourself. So I kind of like focused a lot of energy on getting myself into a better position in a better place. So I would say like my entire vision for my brand, I'm not gonna say it changed, but it became more polished since I started doing Find Your Purpose or whatever, because I realized that you can get to your goal through many different roads. Instead of like, we were hammering like, oh, we want to rap, oh, we want to do this, oh, and it was cool, but it wasn't going anywhere. Yeah. I probably wasted like 15 years doing that. And then I've been doing this for less than 6 months, and I've been able to like catch up to the success that I had rapping for like all those years.
Yeah.
So yeah, my brand changed. The outside of it hasn't really changed, but the inside of it changed. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, I guess sort of put another way, are you Billy Alive, accomplished concert promoter turned philanthropist, or are you Billy Alive, concert promoter and philanthropist?
But I'm both.
Yeah, okay.
I'm still the same. I don't focus too much on the concerts as much right now, but we're still like a major force in the Baltimore scene with the concerts. We have a couple things going up, so instead of me doing a bunch of small things, we're focusing more on doing like big things. Like we got something called a Summer Jam coming up at the Howard County Fairgrounds, and that's gonna be a pretty big one. And then we do like Winter Jam, Summer Jam, Spring Jam, things like that. Then we do Baltimore Sound Stage, out of our 8x10. I got 8x10 on May 6th. Are you coming? Yeah. So yeah, I'm both. I think being home, I'll be able to be both actually better. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. I gotta set my whole schedule up. I gotta figure out like 9 o'clock, do this, and I gotta like submit that and all that kind of stuff. So I don't really know how I'm gonna fill it out yet. But I'll figure it out.
Yeah. It always has seemed like with you that one has served the other. You being a
Yeah.
concert promoter has served your nonprofit mission and vice
Yeah,
versa.
yes, because I learned how to. I know like with a lot of nonprofits, they'll have like great ideas, but not really know how to market or present themselves to people. With me being a promoter, an artist, a host, and a manager, and a marketer for what I do, I pretty much take all the skills that I have in the music and I put it behind what I do for Find Your Purpose. I really don't change anything at all except for the way I talk in certain settings or whatever. So yeah, everything I learned doing the music stuff really propelled me with doing a nonprofit. Yeah. Plus, if you can sit there and talk to like 50 gangsters in a room in Baltimore City or whatever state I go into, sitting there and talking to like a seminar for the people with that are going places, it's like nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I developed a lot of skills doing what I was doing, and I wouldn't change anything. I wish I would have got smarter. And people come to me all the time and they're like, "Yo, I'm trying to rap." First thing I say is like, "No, I don't think you should. I think you should like you want to do music, that's cool, but learn how to do something else." Like my son, he raps, but he also is an engineer and a producer, so he can make money engineering people, making beats for people, mixing, doing sound, whatever, and still do music. But when you come in there and your goal is just, this is what we're going to do, who's going to make it, from watching YouTube and seeing what everybody else is doing, the chances of it happening is like really, really slim to none. And it's a hard reality that I had to face myself. So I think I'm one of the only people that's going to sit there and tell guys like, nah, do it, do something different. So that's another thing that I'm going to do. So what I'm learning through my nonprofit, I've also taken that to the hip hop side or the street side, and I'm telling guys like, there's like a lot of other things that you can do instead of wasting, keep hitting something, it's not working. So yeah.
Any other questions for Billy? Tina?
Talking about some of the other things you were working on. What's the status on like where my dog's at?
Where my dog's at, the winter stopped at. So it's still sitting where it's sitting. I'm thinking I would like to have that up by like June.
You might need to tell people what it is.
Where my dog's at is a hot dog stand that I was gonna do, and it was inspired by like all the rappers with dog in their name, Snoop Dogg and DMX like Dog and Short Dog and whatever. So I was gonna do a hot dog that, you know, was a different name for each hip hop artist, and I was gonna have kids run the hot dog stand as like part of the program, and it was gonna just post up like wherever. I had some roadblocks because I thought it was an official food truck. And then I found out it wasn't an official food truck, so I can't get a license as a food truck. I had to get a special events permit where I'm able to do it like 20 times, whatever, which is cool. So I'll be able to take it to like cookouts, and if I was prepared, I could take it to my Easter egg hunt. But I can't like set it up in like festivals and stuff like that because it's not a licensed food truck. So that put a kind of hold on things. So I had to like kind of figure that out, and then it got cold, and then yeah. So I plan on getting back to it.
Okay, I want to book you for July 16th.
I should be ready by July 16th.
Thank you.
That's
Awesome.
the event, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then, so you had put it out there that you were looking for some kind of a vehicle for towing of that. Did you want to, tell the universe what you're looking for?
I'm looking for a specific vehicle.
Okay.
I'm looking for a 9-passenger, like Chevy Tahoe or something, but an older one, like 2004, whatever. They still look nice. And I want to wrap it like grams. And,
Not purple though,
not
right?
purple, not purple. But I'm looking for an old, and I want the SUV just because stylish purpose. I could get a van, but 9-passenger van, 9-passenger SUV, it still holds 9 passengers. The SUV I can use and I can wrap it, and it can be like, it's kind of dope. You know what I'm saying? You see the Find Your Purpose van going around, all these kids jump out. And then I can put stuff in there, whatever. But I seen something for like 5,000.
Yeah.
And I knew a lot of people that work on cars and stuff like that. So I take 5,000. I get one of those, decent mileage. I make sure it's taken care of. I wrap it. Good to go.
Is that what you would use to
I would use that to
pull your dogs
yeah,
around?
Yeah. That wasn't my main thing. My main thing was having something to take the kids to these programs. Because the programs that I'm gonna be doing are gonna be like not just in Carroll County. They're in Baltimore County and Baltimore City, so I want to have be able to take like 5 kids, so that way I can fit a couple of parents that want to go, my staff members, and the kids. That's probably going to be the next thing I'm going to shoot to get. I talked to a couple of people, and they were like, go here and go there, and everybody I talked to was like, well, I get you one for 15 grand, and I was like, no, you don't understand. I'm not trying to pay like, we don't got money like that. I'm trying to buy something flat out that we can just fix up and just roll.
You might be able to get something like that at one of the government or GSA auctions.
Somebody said something about that too.
Yeah, and I just met a guy who recently introduced me to another platform where it's like any kind of like Silicon Valley or startup company that has like liquidating a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen like Chevy Tahoes
Really?
and things like that on that auction site too. So I'll send you the links.
Yeah, I saw some for like $4,000, $5,000,
Yeah.
whatever. But at like 180 miles, which I don't care.
Yeah.
It's not anything. I was driving a car that had like 300 some miles on it. It was still kicking. But yeah, so that's gonna probably be my next fundraiser mission. But I think since it's such a low amount, I'm probably gonna do an event for that and hope to get sponsors that might want to have their logos listed on the truck. And even if I raise like 3,000 at the event, I should have enough to start.
Well, that could pay for the truck too.
Yeah.
You know, just getting the sponsors
True,
on the
true.
wrap.
Yeah, I'm gonna put speakers in and all that.
We have a question on Facebook.
Yes, we have a question from Rick Leinbach from Startup Portal. What are your top 3 goals in the next 6 months?
My top 3 goals. One is to fully develop my personal schedule so I can be the most effective that I can be while I'm off. I feel like that's probably a priority. Some people in my position would probably sit there and watch Netflix for the first couple months and then try to catch up and be like, oh, we're running out of money. What am I going to do? And be scattered. I want to go into it in May already running full speed. You know what I'm saying? So that's my first thing I want to do. The second is to develop these programs and have the programs ready to go. The day that I start, I want to be able to, that following week, have my programs running. Like I don't want to. I guess both of those are kind of the same thing, but one's more personal, one's more on a professional schedule side. So those are the 2 things. And then I want to really lock down some established grant writers or grant writer that can focus on searching and finding the things that I need, because that's one area that I'm not really good at. But outside of just a grant writer, somebody to help find funders, because from what I hear, there's grants and then there's funders. Personally, I've had more experience with funders than I had with actually getting grants. So I want to find somebody that can help us with those kind of things. And to add to that, I want to talk to, what is it, the place that for the interns? Burks. I want to talk to Burks about getting some of
It's
the
no
kids.
longer Burke.
Yeah.
Right.
Carroll
Yes.
County Workforce Development.
Yes.
Yeah.
CC works.
That's so much easier.
Much easier.
I want to sit down and talk to them and see about finding some intern to do some of the social media stuff and maybe even the grant writing or different things like that or whatever. But pretty much develop a solid team to be able to do what I want to do, because I like talking. I don't like actually typing and doing all that kind of stuff. So
You need a secretary.
yeah,
You need your own admin.
Yeah.
I need a couple of them, but I want people that want to do it. I don't want people that are just like, yeah, I'll do it. Like, want your heart to be in it. So that's my thing.
And if you haven't talked to McDaniel already, they've got that whole handshake platform, it's called, where you can post like internship opportunities for their students.
I gotta figure out how to write up what I need.
Yeah.
And post. I
They
think
can help you do that too, though.
should I go to the Curl? I lost it already. What is it?
Workforce development.
Should I talk to them first or McDaniel's first? I'm in communication with both.
They do both, yeah. I mean,
works out of work, right?
they're not mutually exclusive.
Okay.
But yeah, I would maybe talk to Aaron Benevento
Benevento.
at McDaniel about the handshake platform and see how you can get into that.
Okay.
Any other questions for Billy? All right. Thank you, Billy. All right, let's see. It's 9:30. We got time for community updates. Anybody want to come up and talk about what's going on with their own businesses or opportunities? Judy, come on up. Judy from Share Hope Through Art. Do we pull the website, Judy?
Sure.
What should I pull up?
We'll do crabhappens.org.
You do a website now.
Yeah. The Share Hope is a blog spot, and I can't link it on Facebook or something.
I think sure should be.
That's right.
Yeah. So the book is online, but I ordered it, so I'm not quite as promoting it till I get it. So I'll do another 1 million cups. But let me. The last time I was here, they were kind of like focus on one thing and do it well. And Graham was like, you might want to. This is the shortened version, but it was a little bit bigger. And I he's like, you should shorten it. So the problem is not the problem, but the first one was like, it's all over the place. Because half of it at the end was like, these are all my ideas, because I don't know if I'll ever do them all, but they're good. So it's kind of like, okay, so here's where does crap come from, how to deal with crap without leaving a stench, crappy quote book, crap and mental health, stories of crap survivors and experiences. And I was like, you know what, like, because I have anxiety and I don't want to be like, well, maybe I'll do another one. I was like, I'm just going to do one. So I combined all of those into the psychology and sociology of crap. So where does it come from? Well, there's the micro, like the psychology side of, how we interpret things. But then there's the whole macro sociology side of, oh shoot, there's the world. So it goes into all of it, and yeah. And I quote over 400 people, and it's almost like a grad school summary of social work with social action all the way down to human behavior 1 and 2, and it goes into it. And I guess the conclusion is I have a experiment in here of saying, how do we deal with all the problems? For every 1,000 people hacking at the branches of the tree of evil, only one is hacking at the root, which is having your dream and throw. And I try to add people's dates because I think that's cool. So he was in 1817 to 1862. So it's kind of a history book too. So I try to add everyone's dates. But so the theory is, if we are at peace with ourselves, we'll create peace without. So it has to deal with the interconnected theory I did right out of grad school. And, we put our crap and all of our issues in our basement. So now we're codependent externally, but it all goes with crap now. So it kind of goes. And the idea with this one is, when I was in high school, so this is over 20 years ago. It's so fun getting old.
Older.
Well, I never thought I would. I always I got into like a lot of stuff on my
Every
teen years.
22-year-old thinks they're going to be 22 forever.
No, when I was a teenager, and I thought I wasn't gonna make it. Like, when I hit 30, I was like, I'm still here. Like, people had a break. Yeah, long story. So the idea is also people can doodle and add their own. Like, there's space in this one. So it's kind of like this can be your journal, too. So you can add your own things. You can do your border. You can do whatever. Because high school, I took a year at a high school retreat, and it was awesome. But I had a whole quote book. And I was like, I love quotes. So you can add your own quotes. So the idea is, like, it's a keepsake, and I have share your story at the end, and blank pages, and questions. And so it's a fun idea. One idea is also to say, have a youth do it, or somebody else go through and decorate it and personalize it, make it like a work of art, and then they can sell it and make a profit potentially. Like, who knows? Yeah, so it's kind of fun. And then, so I feel like this is in the process. It'll be 3 weeks before I promote it too much. Just back work? Or what do I do?
I think it's going to
Open
be a
another
tab.
one,
There's another tab already open next to that one. Click on the tab.
Thank you. Yeah,
See where it says scratch back and stuff.
yes. So this is still the Share Hope Through Art. So for some reason this won't go up. So they're connected. So the idea is, if this actually takes off, it'll fundraise the Share Hope Through Art. I should have bought the flyers, but I want to start working on compilation stories. So find your purpose. I'd love to get youth to do their artwork and start putting them in stories where it's a fundraiser. Okay. So I just don't want to go after grants. I'm not a grant writer. I don't like it. So I'm like, if we can fundraise, I have my button press. I punched out over 1,000 buttons in my time. I can do 500. I'm like, I got this. Good movie. Watch a good movie. So you can sell things or give them away or whatever. But I want to do. My dream would be to do Share Hope Through Art, self-sustaining, and be under the community foundation, which I am, and so we'll see. But yeah, once this is online, it'll be updated hopefully next year with appropriate edits because my grammar is awful.
Diana already talked to you?
Your wonderful mother-in-law.
Yeah, my mother-in-law.
She started going through, she's like, she has this garden that looks like 5 people work it. And yeah, she's like, I don't have time to go through, but she did like 5 pages. And so those are fixed in the next one. And I quote Billy in it. I quote Tina, I thank Graham, I quote Letitia in it. So it's kind of fun that, yeah.
Well, it's great to see the all.
Well, yeah, so it's kind of, what's the one thing you want to do? And I'm like, this is one I can do by myself. And my whole timeline is I'm hoping my son, who you might hear in the background, goes to preschool in the fall. So I'm kind of like, I can't really do anything. I want to do workshops, and Honor of Carroll County, Lori Galloway was going to be here, but she has a meeting. So, Billy, you'll have to meet up with her soon, though, because she has a whole wellness center right in town. So she does adults, and like, find your purpose as adults too now. So.
Well, and I know you want to send this around and get it in front of some media and get some publicity for it, and we can help you with that in terms of getting a press release out about
that'd be
it.
huge.
And you are already sending it to Ellen DeGeneres,
I think
right?
that's the plan. The next one I ordered, it takes about 3 weeks turnaround for them to print, and then I do the cheapest mail. So I guess a press release too, or to just be like, hey, I quote her a few times in here, but it's good stuff. I was like, yeah, like I basically say I want deaths of despair done, like no more suicides, overdoses in my lifetime, and I think we should solve world hunger, because we can. And that might even be protecting land and not getting in their culture. If people are like there's some like nomadic tribes potentially, like give them their space. We don't have to force feed them American food. When I was in Jamaica, I was like, they had the big old pot, like this big of like rice and beans and chicken. I'm like, man, we should have like our school lunches are awful. Like, right. We should learn from them.
Give them a big pot in the school cafeteria.
Oh my gosh, it was so healthy and good. And I'm like, man, like. Our whole like cultural centric thing. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't. I don't do. I've traveled enough, and I'm like, yeah, we do some things wrong. But
any questions for Judy?
No, I'd like to see an update, so.
Yeah. Anything on Facebook?
Thank you.
Thank you, Judy. Anyone else? Anything from Atlas?
It's crazy out there.
Do you have anything you want to talk
I don't
about?
have anything right now, no.
Okay, all right. Vicki, anything from Tang? Infinite Love? Dirigible? No. All right. Well, in terms of, I could actually provide a quick magic update. We've got a what's called a Capture the Flag competition coming up on April 30th. It's our 12th Capture the Flag competition. When does the registration open again?
It's open.
It's open now, okay. Yep. So if you know any students as young as
8th grade.
Eighth
so
grade.
Like 12, 13.
Yeah. Who are interested, or maybe not even interested, but you think they should be interested in cybersecurity, our Capture the Flag programs are great. Primer. How do you pronounce that word? I've always thought it was primer, but then I heard someone pronounce it primer.
Are you fancy?
I think if you're English.
If you're English, it's
Yeah.
primer.
If you're British,
Okay.
it's primer.
Okay. Well, I am fancy. So.
Okay, so primer it is.
For cybersecurity, so if you literally have no exposure or background or education in cybersecurity, our Capture the Flag competitions are a great introduction to that. We start with level 0, which is almost like trivia questions, and the students are encouraged to use Google to go find the answers. We're not trying to test them. This is the idea is that they're using critical thinking and investigative skills to actually go and find the answers themselves. So there's that, and then we, something that we would love to kind of just put out towards the community. That's Bernie from Genieburg waving at us. Is we had to cancel our hackathon. We have an annual hackathon every year. It's usually in February. Because of the pandemic, we had postponed it to April 1st, 2nd, 3rd. April Fool's Day. I guess that's why it didn't work out.
Should have known.
We should have known. But we had to cancel because we just didn't have enough. We had several students sign up, but we didn't have as many as we usually get signed up. And so other than, kind of commiserating and and hearing other stories about other things that aren't getting, students to sign up. Like, we get that there's the pandemic and there's fatigue, but we're also trying to figure out, like, what's the new, like, how has the paradigm shifted since the pandemic in terms of engagement? What does that look like? How do you get in front of students who are no longer really accessible necessarily through the schools in terms of us going to the schools physically? I mean, maybe that'll come back, but so we're kind of open to ideas. I mean, Billy, you're an expert at getting kids engaged and excited about stuff. So, like, we could certainly take a page from stuff that you've done. But, like, what are the platforms? Where are they talking? Where are they congregating? It seems like a lot of them are sort of decentralized, like Discord, where you can't really join someone else's Discord and just start, inviting them to stuff, or maybe you can. Anyway, we're open to ideas. So I was putting that out there into the universe. So that we want to talk about that. We want to figure out that problem, and we're willing to sort of workshop that with the community. And then we've got our Good Game Festival that is now being planned for November 4th. 4th, 5th, and 6th, right? 3 days again?
Yep.
At Best Western Conference Center. So that's going to be back, and we're going to be promoting it at AwesomeCon in DC in June. So that's very exciting. So we reached out to AwesomeCon, right? And then they basically offered us a booth as a nonprofit, I suppose. Anyway, if you're not familiar with Good Game, that's our that's our gaming festival to promote healthy gaming habits and sportsmanship in gaming. And we had our first one last year in September or October, was it? September, thank you. At Town Mall. We had Ravens Gaming League as a partner, the Baltimore Ravens Gaming League. We had Save Point as a partner. They're in Union Bridge. Mm-hmm. And they provide a free play arcade. They're going to do that again this year. It will be at Best Western. And we had our Biz Battle competition that I don't think, I'm disappointed to see Atlas participation but maybe this year.
Gage took the trophy.
But Gage Digital Media took the trophy. They beat out DDT and Ting. Sorry, Vicky. And
I was happy with third, and we are preparing.
So. So speaking of which, is gear up for Good Game Festival November 4th. I think that's it. Any other updates, Kim?
No, I think that's it. There are 2 big things right now.
All right, great. And that's it for Magic. Anybody else have any updates? Nope. All right, well, we'll just close it out. Tina, you want to come on up and send us on our way?
Absolutely. Thank you so much to Billy Lund. Find your purpose, representing. It's a great thing. The connection of community and how can we use technology like Magic is helping with the community understand, what can we do with our gigabit fiber and how can it benefit the community in so many different ways. Billy's connecting people who may or may not know what resources are out here in the community, and I love that part too. So we are 1MC, 1 million cups. Thank you, Jeannie Bird, sponsor for coffee and these amazing pastry things. Oh my gosh. And then also for Furnace Hills for our online coffee sponsor, Magic for the location, Startup Portal for the alternate location, Ting for the fiber, yay, so we can stream this. And if you want to present, if you're an entrepreneur, if you think you have a good idea for a business and you're not quite sure who to talk to about it, come chat with us. Go to 1 Million Cups, the number 1millioncups.com/Westminster and click apply to present. Because then you'll be able to talk with a lot of resource people who kind of can help you, guide you, and maybe help you find the way to get out of your old job and into your new one. So we will every Wednesday morning at 9. See you next week.